Dear diarrhea full of shit. Just playing along with myself and no one else. What y'all told us that? Just watching me some aquifer videos. I have a folder. I'm not sure if it's public or not. I put at least one. Yeah, I think it was one. In the Amen Drop the Mic, about the depletion of water or whatever. But I would recommend all of my legions and legions of fans to, do their homework, the stuff that you used to, the basic stuff that you would learn as a kid. You know what I mean? Don't pass it by, pick it up, as far as garbage. Within reason, because it's kind of all over the place, but, you know, pitch in, whatever, meaning throw it away, don't just toss it on the ground. You might have to put it in your pocket, God forbid, until you run across a garbage can. Conserve water. Don't take super long showers. I mean, every now and then you like to, do the poor man's hot tub thing. But, if you're sick or whatever, or you're cold, you want to take a nice hot shower. Because remember, a hot shower not only uses the water, which, if you live in a country, goes to the. Okay, let's stay focused here. So it uses water, but then you have to replace the water, so it has to be pumped to your house and pressurized. And then it's hot water, so the hot water has to be heat by flame, or maybe they use electricity these days, I'm not sure, in some cases. So that uses propane or, some sort of gas or electricity to heat it. So, and then when you use it, it goes down the drain and it needs to be treated and stuff if you live in a city. So that, just costs, money and resources. If you live in a country, it goes to a septic tank. So it'll leach into the ground, the water. Some of it will stay in the tank, but then eventually you have to have someone come out and pump it. And just like I said, it's contributes to that. The truck has to come out, and they gotta go treat it. And just on a massive, process. And like I said, the electricity, you don't pay a water bill out in the country, but you do pay the electric pump it out of the ground to your house and then pressurize it so it's in the pipes. So when you turn the faucet on, there's water in there. And if you turn it to the left, you get hot water. Not boiling, but hot enough where it's too hot to touch. And it's just this whole process, and that doesn't necessarily leak down back to recharge the aquifer. But anyway, I remember looking at this when they were building my house. I am in the Laramie Fox Hills aquifer, and my well is, I think it's like 1,200 feet deep. And that's pretty deep, but that's not like too deep. And as far as I understand, deep is good as far as, contaminants and stuff go, but they do recharge slower. But there's a model, I forget what it is. Aquifers are kind of weird, because they're this big thing. So, rivers and streams don't necessarily, charge the aquifer, and it takes a long time to recharge them. But depending on generally where the water table's at, en masse, the whole aquifer and where it's at, that river or stream could actually be drawing water out of the aquifer. I forget the name of the channel, but the Ogallala aquifer is the biggest in the U.S., I think. I've known that for a long time, and it's draining pretty quick. It's interesting stuff. I would recommend that you go check it out. Darren on Family and Friends. So, if you're the type of piece of shit who, when you brush your teeth, you leave the water running or something like that, how about you knock that the fuck off? I've actually started, I have my compost and shit. And I used to have my little spinner. I'd dump something in there and then I'd spin it. And then, dump it out and kind of, rake it, into the ground. Now I've just started chucking it out where my yard's going to be. And like I said, in theory, once a week I would go out there and just sort of rake it and cover it, Not gonna lie, I haven't been doing that. But the neighbor's dog comes over and eats shit too, so I'm careful not to dump, like hot stuff out there because that might be not so good. I don't dump meat or bones or anything out there. And I'm mindful of the dog. I don't dump like, sauce and stuff so the dog doesn't come over and just start eating mouthfuls of dirt. It's a pit bull. It's gray. Its name is Sweetie, and it's female, and it's nice. It's kind of timid. I haven't been able to pet it yet, but I'll just sort of take a knee and hey, doggy. I'll use its name. Like I said, maybe I'll just steal it, like the neighbor's donkey. And occasionally get out. I've never found it up in my yard though, but that'd be kind of cool if I just started feeding it and be like, yeah, your donkey's mine now. But anyway, if you kept better care of your, number one, fence and your animals, they wouldn't come to this oasis where they get better treatment. So, anyway. And, they're your pets, so they come over here, they're friendly and whatnot, we'll chill on the front porch, and then they'll fucking go home to you. You take care of the vet bills or anything that might come up with owning a pet. Dog hair, shit like that. I don't know if it's an indoor or outdoor or both. The donkey obviously is outdoor. But anyway, they got horses. The neighbors across the way there. Sometimes there is cows across the road. But I've lived here like 3 years, and there's only been like at least twice, maybe 3 times, where there were cows in that field for, like a couple months. So I don't know who owns that pasture and what those cows are doing. Like, why do you own those cows? Are you fattening them up and you're gonna sell them, or what's the deal? Why do you own those cows? Those cows are not pets; they're livestock. So, like ranchers, they raise all these cows and then they sell them at a feedlot to get fattened up. As far as I understand it, although, because I never asked, either one of my uncles, so what happens to these cows? You got the cows, you got the calves, calving season, and all the logistics, branding and doctoring them, and just all the logistics of ranch hand. It's not just cows. You got to ride the fence line and fix all that shit and all that. There's a shit ton of work to be done on a ranch. But a lot of it, because to have a functioning ranch, it needs to be, several thousand acres, 2,000 or 3,000 at least. The majority of the work is literally just riding pasture and moving them, to different. I mean, there's fences, it's quartered off. It's not just this big hunk of land. So they graze in this area, and then you move them to the other area, while it regrows, and it's this logistical thing. And sometimes you keep some up closer, towards the house, and you can feed them with the big round hay bales. And, there's just logistics of how that works. The horses that you use, they have their pasture to run free and stuff, and you bring them in towards the barn, and sometimes you need to have cows up closer, and might have a cow that's having issues calving, so you bring them up and watch them, and I have to actually help them. They have this machine, sometimes you have to put on a big damn glove and reach in the not the asshole, but the whatever you call it, cow vagina, cow cooter. And grab that calf, sometimes shit goes wrong. You got to pull it out. So, by hand, this slippery, steamy calf in the barn at like 10 o'clock at night or 2 o'clock in the morning. If you hear the cow mooing or something, you got to put on your fucking coveralls. And, that happened when I was helping my uncle. I don't remember what time it was, but it was him, me. I think my aunt was out there just sort of, I don't know, watch. I don't know. And like I said, on that ranch, the ranch owner eventually fired all the ranch hands. There was 3 of them at first, and he fired the other 2 and just kept my uncle. He wasn't my uncle by blood, but, because he was good at what he did. He could cowboy like a motherfucker. He had a bunch of other shit, problems, but yeah. But and there's that little calf, and you dry them off with a blanket and make sure that they drink milk. Sometimes the cow rejects the calf, so damn, just the logistics of a rancher. I remember one time it worked out. The calf died on one cow, and this is one of these problematic cows that, however, I don't remember, how you're out there riding, it's calf season, you got to get on your horse and ride, yeehaw, yeehaw, and just check the cows, what's going on. All right, here's a dead one. All right, we got to get rid of this because this is going to draw in the coyotes. So you hook a chain around its ankles and tight to the pick 'em up truck and drag it. They had a designated spot where they would dump the dead animals, and that didn't happen a lot, but it's just, you're a rancher, you got to check the fucking animals, at least every other day. Because the other days, you're checking fence line and working on tractors and shit like that. But, and it's the real deal. You know what I mean? It's ranch work, baby. Yeehaw, yeehaw. That's what you do for a living on the weekends. You go fuck off. But, Monday through Friday, you're up at 5 a.m. You're walking out to the barn at 5:30. Them horses are saddled and you're riding out. It's like the sun ain't even crescent rising yet. It might be cold, might be hot, Got your jacket on, you can see your breath. Got a little canteen, only instead of full of water, it's full of coffee, and then maybe got another canteen. You got your saddlebags full of your shit, you got your rope. Cowboy shit, yo. Yeehaw. I'm very privileged to have been a part of that. Like I said, I was, not of age yet, but I was old enough, like I said, he would send me off by myself to do shit. So, I was 13, 14, years old, 12, 13, 14. So, back in the old West days, 12, 13, 14 years old, you were basically, you were expected to kind of pull your weight, But, anyway, I'll real quickly. So that's the water thing. I covered that. But one time, there was a cow that its calf died. There was another cow that rejected its calf. So they skinned the hide off of the dead calf. And what the hell was the deal? Yeah, put it on the calf that the cow rejected, and that mama cow, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It took so that calf didn't die. But when you send animals for livestock, generally you don't want them to get too old. So I don't remember. So because I spent a lot of time out there every chance, probably, yeah, for about 3 years. And then he, started doing other stuff. So every time I was off from school, so the big vacation obviously was summer vacation. So I'd spend pretty much all my time out there. I mean, I'd go home to see my family and stuff, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Yeah, I would spend about 5 days at a time out there helping him. So, yeah, I remember he said that. He's like, hey, you guys are going to be out here, work. Because, he had nephews, but they were screw ups. I was the wonder boy because I did what he told me. And he said that. He's like, you know why I don't get mad and yell at you? Because you listen. So, one of his nephews, he was like probably 12, 13. He said, get in the pickup, put it in gear, okay? Push your foot on the brake. Or it was in gear, I guess. Sometimes, it's you got to work it a little bit because the gears aren't exactly if the engine ain't right. But anyway, logistics aside, he said put it, keep it in gear, start it in gear. And he didn't do that, and he rolled backwards and busted a fence, and he was mad. And he brought me up. He's all, you think super dude wouldn't have rolled backwards into the fence? Super dude would have done exactly what I told him. Yeah, made me feel kind of stupid. But he was training me how to cut cows and all that stuff. Like I said, horses are finicky, the weirdest shit. A new gate is a common example. It's like, what the fuck is this? An outhouse, like a big, blue or orange, bright color will just freak them the fuck out. And man, cutting cows, that thing, when they did the thing and stuff, and they set up this whatnot, and when it went, and the horse would boom, bolt, and it was some shit. And me as this little 12-year-old, it's like, my uncle was like, you're gonna do this, so as a little buckaroo, the horse would bolt and turn around, and I'd have to, kick, left boot, and bring the reins around and get him back. And like I said, yeehaw, yeehaw, motherfucking hee-haw, cowboy shit. So just like in the 1800s, it was really, really cool. And like I said, me being out there by myself, boots, spurs, Wrangler jeans, button-up shirt, ball cap. I should have wore a fucking cowboy hat just to protect my ears and whatnot, but I just had a regular ball cap. Canteen and stuff, and I'd tip it up, take a little drink, and just out there by myself, horizon after horizon. There's just another horizon, and I'd hear the bugs, that sound like the snake and stuff, and it's just like in a movie. And I remember thinking, I've said this before, I've told this whole damn story before. This is just memory lane, so y'all can fuck off. Maybe it's some new subscribers or lurkers or whatever. Yeah. There was a time in my life where I was an honorary buckaroo. But I just felt like really at peace, just out there, the sun's beating down, and I just, it's nice. It's real fucking nice. Even at that age, I'm puberty type age, I'm just out there, just, the bug I'm talking about, it's, it's like, that's my defining moment, or whatever. It's like, I'm just out there, just like, yeah, I could get used to this, fuck. Anyway. Guess that's all I gotta say. So conserve water. Well, by the way, cows and ranching and all that stuff, feedlots, yeah. Not only the greenhouse gas, get the water don't go with you. But yeah, I'm so lonely. That's my heart. Ooh.